Jerry Jeudy getting traded to the Browns. Wow. And
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
no, that was like in left field. And the other thing is, I guess the NFL just feels like Mac Jones is a backup because he is headed to the Jaguars, which was another wow. Did not see that one coming. But I don't know what their plans are. I don't know how all that's shaking out. I mean, I thought Trevor Lawrence was doing pretty good down there. I mean, maybe I'm not
I,
seeing something they're seeing. I
well,
don't understand it.
I think it's just more of solidifying the backup quarterback because, as you saw when Trevor Lawrence was out of the game when he was hurt last year, it did not look pretty.
No, it
It,
didn't.
the backup quarterback spot in Jacksonville did not look pretty after Trevor Lawrence went down. So I think this is actually a pretty good fit for the Jaguars,
Two of
especially.
these players didn't even participate in the combine. Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harris. They're both very talented. Didn't
They're
even
still
really. They're still going to get drafted in the top. Um,
these. I think all three of these guys could potentially be their wide receiver number one, depending on where they go. Unless the team already has a wide receiver number one. If they don't, these three right here could automatically just be their wide receiver one, in my opinion, because all these three, they just look so good when you watch them.
I'm going to throw a trick question out. Now,
Okay.
throw out the part that he won the Heisman Trophy. Don't even put that in the equation.
Okay.
And let's take a couple years back. What if Devontae
Okay.
Smith came out with Marvin Harris Jr. and Malik Neighbors and Room Dosday? I mean, how would you judge that class? Like, where would you put Devontae Smith? Honestly,
He he would be behind all three of them, in my opinion.
that's how my thoughts are. I believe he would be my number fourth. And there's no disrespect to him. He's a great player, and he deserved the Heisman the year he won it. I mean, there wasn't too many out there that did what he did, and a lot of it was Alabama had that team,
Oh
so
yeah.
you couldn't take that away from him.
I
Um,
would I would I would go with the top three with Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Roma Dunze. But I would put Devontae right behind Roma Dunze in front of the other guys that we're going to talk about later.
yeah, I'm kind of in that agreement. Us with the number one spot, and I think through this whole discussion, everybody should know who both me and Austin's number one is by now. If you hadn't heard through all the hints through the whole discussion, we talked about the guy several times. Let's go ahead and just blurt his name out. And yes, he was a rookie. And it's
Finally, a
Sam
rookie,
Laporta.
a rookie
Wow.
tight end has
Wow.
come back.
Is Brock, and my curiosity is they did not hype him up like they're hyping Brock Bowers up. And I wonder if Brock Bowers is going to, like, I mean, is he going to be able to pass this guy? Because this guy, and I'm not saying Brock can't. Brock was like extraordinary in college. I mean,
Now,
I want to draft him on my fantasy team right now so bad, but I know where I'm at picking and who I'm picking. I'm not going to be able to get the guy. But
now, I
up here on our top 10, you can see Austin's list and then my list. Pretty much agreement. I mean, the only different ones we added to the list that each one didn't have is I had Michael Pittman Jr. and you had Jalen Waddle. I mean, everybody else was the same, just in a different order. I mean, with it all coming to an end and to the head, we already know who our twos and threes are. Uh, I had Sanders at three, Case Stovers at two. You had Sanders at two and Kate Stovers at three. The number one guy, if anybody ain't figured it out, you ain't been watching college football. And you ain't been watching the NFL. And that's Brock Bowers. Wow. Uh, if he doesn't come into the NFL and do anything, it I just don't see that happening.
well,
Any one of these tight ends below that we mentioned could be just as good as Brock Bowers. And that's my curiosity because No one thought Sam Laporta was going to do what he did. He was like, okay, you did this. Now, what is Brock Bowers going to do? Now, I think if he goes to the Chargers, we could see just another great performance by a rookie. And then everybody's going to be like, well, I thought you always have to wait a couple years for tight ends. Is this a
Well,
new
yeah,
trend?
because
But I don't think it's a new
like,
trend. I just think it's just a certain timing. You got two great tight ends coming out about the same timing. I mean, we're comparing to the professionals or the experts. Um, where they tiered them are different, but I can see why they tiered Marvin Harris Jr. in tier 2 and not tier 1. One, he hasn't played the field yet, but it's just hard to believe they have him down that low. Because didn't they have Caleb Williams in tier 1 for quarterbacks?